Hey everyone, I'm Lem. Welcome to my life. Now this week I'm going to be bringing you a mindfulness challenge. As a sufferer of depersonalization for over a decade, I've really struggled to be present with living in the moment. Mindfulness seems to have been hijacked as a concept. You see just about anything you can lay your hands on in the works emblazoned with the word mindfulness, as if sitting and doing a puzzle is going to make you feel like you're really living your life to the full. Another thing that kind of makes me a bit uneasy is that I feel it's somewhat linked to esoteric practices, all a bit woo. Meditation for me links to yoga, which kind of links to a kind of scary experience I had where the teacher was claiming that he could feel the spirits of trees and communicate with them and urging us to pray to Mother. And I just took a mindfulness test online to assess whereabouts I am in terms of mindfulness in my life. I came up with a score of moderate, but it looks like there's room for improvement. Knowing full well that I'm a mindfulness skeptic, dear friend and colleague of mine bought me mindfulness cards. I'm disproportionately amused by the fact that it says Arse Edition on the box. It's a pack of 50 of these cute little cards with tips on them, but a great proportion of them are all things that you're already doing because they're kind of prerequisites for human life, like being and breathing. If you haven't mastered those yet, then I'm kind of worried for you. An absolutely wonderful friend of mine back in the UK also gave me a mindfulness journal called I Am Here Now, full of little exercises which I think are a lot more concrete. So for a whole week I'm going to try and put my cynicism aside, approach mindfulness with an open mind, use these cards and go about my day-to-day activities, and also do one exercise from the mindfulness journal every day. So wish me luck! Good mindful morning everybody! I've got a whole week off work this week, which is brilliant. I already feel like that's pretty mindful of me, making time off for hashtag self-care. Hashtag literally couldn't face the thought of another full week at work. The weather was great last week, but now that I'm actually free to enjoy it, it's gone pretty chilly, which is just typical. But no, I mustn't think like that. Must be positive.
Mindfulness reminder. Make yourself a little mindfulness reminder. It can be a pretty sticker on the bathroom mirror, a little Buddha statue on your desk, a pretty postcard on the wall. Whenever you look at this object, pause for a while. Breathe in, lean back, and enjoy this moment.
Bathroom mirror would make sense. I'm choosing to use the Sparkle Kitty of Mindfulness. I'm going to put her where I can see her. Soft kitty, warm kitty. Not entirely sure what I'm going to be getting up to today. I think it's going to be quite low-key. I'd really like to go to the library. I'm cool like that. I always feel like kind of an imposter at the university. I wouldn't mind these stairs being less real, I can tell you that now. Botanical gardens, because of the rain my plant had to change. I know what you're thinking. Lem, shopping? That's just feeding the capitalist agenda and it's very unmindful. But I'm not here to shop, I'm here to find the rooftop garden. Right now I'm horribly lost. If you don't hear from me, please send out a search party. I've been up here several times before, but never have I noticed multicoloured roofs.
Sharpen your senses. When your head is full from a long day, sit in a busy place on a bench and close your eyes for a few moments. Concentrate on what's happening around you and how much you can perceive using your senses. How does the bench under you feel? Is the wind stroking your skin? When you concentrate on your senses, you'll notice that you're much more than only your thoughts. This is always a good way to bring yourself back into the moment. Get to know yourself. When are you particularly happy? In which situations do you feel uneasy? How does your body react in such moments? Do you prefer to be alone or with people when you're sad? Ask yourself these and similar questions. This exercise will help you get to know yourself better, and in future, you'll learn more quickly to realize when things are becoming too much for you.
So I like this card. I think this is a very good thing to do. Assess your emotions and how you react to certain situations. I'm at my happiest when I'm doing something that I'm good at. I'm one of these people who needs reassurance. I'm also very happy when I'm kind of completely immersed in something, such as music, certain kinds of books that completely make me forget where I am. I hate being embarrassed. I really hate looking incompetent. You might as well just like kill me there and then. I blush and then I become very aware that I'm blushing, so I blush more, and I'm just like a human furnace in the face. If I'm the kind of sad where I'm just sad for no particular reason, I'll have to go through that alone. I won't have the strength to communicate with people, and I don't want them to worry about me either. If I'm the kind of sad where I also feel guilty about something I've done, or sadness is related to self-worth, I would much prefer to be with people, to be distracted from the truths that come to light are kind of uncomfortable, but I think these are all things that you should really know about yourself, just so you can kind of pick up on potentially negative habits that you're forming.
Flower. Buy or pick a flower. See it with open eyes. Smell it with closed eyes. Feel it with closed eyes. Visualize it with closed eyes. Draw it with open eyes.
Because it's March, I wasn't able to find any flowers, so I picked up the, the crappiest looking leaf known to mankind. A whole load of what looks like bird poo just fell out of burnt sienna. And here is my finished painting. Quite nice, don't you think? Totally my work. So yes, painting. Very relaxing, very mindful. Let's see what tomorrow brings. I'm up bright and early today because I'm going out for breakfast with a good friend. Been focusing on the kitten of mindfulness as I'm getting ready. What's new, pussycat? And I'm extremely aware that I'm super tired. It was a pretty mindful morning. We had a delicious breakfast in one of our favourite haunts, which is a little Japanese cafe. We went for a long walk, enjoying the sunshine and just enjoying each other's company. We didn't have much of a plan, so today was all about
free time. Free time means exactly that. It's your free time. That doesn't mean that you have to plan in every second of it. Take time out for yourself. Treat yourself to something that does you good, and spend your time doing nice things. Don't be scared that you're missing out.
We also saw some really beautiful street art. We also discovered that there's a place where you can play black light mini golf, all neon and crazy, so that might be fun to check out sometime. It's great that you can still discover new stuff even after you've lived here a couple of years even. As is usual for my local train line, there was some sort of disruption, meaning we all had to pile out a few stations before my stop. And I was really desperate for the loo. So I was trying to feel less in the moment at that point.
Do less with more focus. Today, try not to multitask. Perceive the things that you're doing. Regardless of whether you're drinking a hot coffee, standing under the shower, and letting the water flow over your skin, whether you're slicing an apple, packing your handbag, or buying a train ticket. Don't do two or even more things at the same time. When you tackle things one at a time, you're more focused and more attentive. Quality, not quantity.
Just got out of a really long hot shower. I'm using this kind of shampoo where you have to leave it in for a couple of minutes. You'd best believe I took those couple of minutes to enjoy the feeling of the water. Not sure how great an idea it was to sit down, but mindfulness kitty approves at least. Wait a minute. It's a distress call, and it's coming from my body. We have to do something about this, and fast. I also forgot to show you the super cool fridge magnet I found in Woolworths, which still exists in Germany, unlike in the UK. Time is precious. Waste it carefully. You can't always be doing something that you deem to be productive. You need time to recharge.
Eat mindfully. What dish do you particularly enjoy? But it takes so long to prepare that you do it all too seldom. Take the time to prepare it today. Try to prepare all the ingredients slowly and consciously, and when everything is finished, enjoy the result. Pay attention to the colour and smell. Taste the individual herbs, and let the food literally dissolve on your tongue. A whole new way to enjoy.
I know the card says to meticulously take time preparing an ultra special complicated meal, but I'm feeling kind of lousy, so I'm just going to have to eat them mindfully instead. May I present gyoza with soy sauce and also mango chutney. They're pale. I just boiled them. The soy sauce is dark, mixing my cultures. And yes, I really can feel the spices dancing on my tongue. It smells so good as well. There's just a little hint of warmth in it. I do think it is true that we rush through eating sometimes. I know I always watch things while I eat, but it's nice to actually concentrate on the food for once.
Anchor man! Keep your attention focused on the intersection of the X for 1 minute. Set your alarm. When your mind wanders, just gently bring your attention back.
X, me, timer. I became aware that my eyes felt quite tired. The light felt a bit bright. I'm probably going to go to bed soon. I also became aware when I rested my chin in my hands that my hands were cold, which I was like, ew, cold. My attention only really wandered once. I was thinking, this feels kind of like more than a minute. It was kind of relaxing though, I've got to say. Worth doing, especially before bed. It's gig day, kiddies! I'm going to see in the lovely city of Wiesbaden. It's the second time I've seen them actually, I think.
In the here and now. Search for your personal here and now moments. When are you particularly present? When do you experience things most intensively without being distracted by your thoughts? Here's a hint. Maybe it's when you're knitting, in the garden, playing an instrument, jogging, playing board games, baking cakes, or doing some DIY. So often when you're using your hands. And you can leave your cares far, far away.
I've also been drawing a bit lately. I'm trying to do a series of Norse gods and goddesses. So I've started with Skadi. She's not super good, but when I do my gig makeup, my primary emotion is fear, and the second one is panic. So yeah, I mean, I guess that's pretty mindful, very in the moment. This week on decisions I'm definitely going to regret. Got the shoes! They look so damn cool.
Ausstieg in Fahrtrichtung links.
Oh Jesus, my feet are in acute pain. As for the gig, hell yes, I was experiencing that. Wow, the singer does not age. I think we were all feeling things. I'm gonna do a kissing my hands exercise. Hopefully I'll be able to stop thinking of inappropriate places to put them. Oi kitty, don't judge me. Oh, I quite fancy being a part of a keyboardist singer sandwich right now. Oh, why did I say sandwich? Now I want food. I'll see you tomorrow.
Body scan. When you can't get your thoughts to rest, concentrate on your body. Lie on your back. And in order, experience what you're feeling in each part of your body, beginning with your right foot all the way up to the tip of your nose. In these moments, concentrate on where you're feeling good and where there are tensions or pains. This body scan will make you refreshed, and you can go about your day.
This is a highly unattractive angle. Nose, fine. Face in general, just a face. Neck. Wow. Ow. Arms. Stiff. Back. Ow. Legs. Ow. Now that I know everything hurts, I can go about my day in an energized way, apparently. Hooray!
Discover the old and new. Concentrate very carefully on the noises in your environment. Soon, you'll notice things that you've never perceived before. Write down these new discoveries in the evening. If you do it regularly, you'll get used to looking out for these precious little moments, and you'll get to know your usual surroundings in a whole new way.
Hey folks, I've just got back from a really lovely evening with a dear friend. We went for a nice Indian meal. I've eaten out so many times this week, it's actually ridiculous. And then we went back to his place and watched a film. Ballad of Sprug? Anyway, it's like a series of 6 different stories set in the Wild West. Would recommend. What I often find is at this time of evening, and I'm always clicking between Instagram and Facebook and YouTube, so it was nice to do something that wasn't internet based for a change.
Offline is the new luxury.
To have a break from all these notifications and just to be lost in someone else's creative world. I've been quite the social butterfly this week.
I don't know why they didn't call this one The Writings on the Wall, but it's called Up the Wall. Plaster these walls with all the things that drive you crazy. Self-criticisms, pet peeves, worries, negative thoughts.
Some of these problems are not on the same scale as others. The wall does not judge. I'm not entirely sure whether an exercise like this is actually helpful, or whether it would just ultimately make you unsatisfied. What is the lens doing? Okay, we'll add auto-focusing to the list of pet peeves. On that note, guess I'll turn in for the night. A magical morning to you all. It's really gloomy out there, so I'm going to stay comfortably ensconced indoors, at least for a while, and do some video editing. I recently recorded a video to post today, which is International Women's Day. As you know, if you're a regular visitor to my channel, I don't really tackle meaty issues. It's a real departure from my usual content. I thought it would also be nice to light this candle I got in IKEA. It actually smells of blueberry muffins. I have a tendency to not want to use the fancy perfume I've been given or something. I'm waiting for a special occasion. But you know what? Every day should be special in its own way. Enjoy the little things. This is where the magic happens.
A new beginning. Today, learn something completely new. Some vocabulary in a new language. How to draw faces. Or make origami figures. As long as you're learning something you can't do yet, you have to concentrate completely on the moment. And you leave the past and the future to simply be.
Origami time! Hey. I don't think this is too bad for a first attempt, and it taught me the great art of staying calm.
Out of your comfort zone. Do you have certain habits that you've carried out every morning, every day, forever? Then sleep on the other side of the bed, or sit in a different spot at breakfast. Take a different route to work. Read a book that wouldn't have interested you before. We always perceive new sensations differently, with more awareness and more intensely than things that we've already felt before. How exciting!
So my mission for today was to help a friend of mine who's just moved house to assemble an IKEA wardrobe. But the problem was that this wardrobe had travelled from country to country. We think it had got a bit warped along the way. Ended up looking a bit like something out of Alice in Wonderland. I was also kind of stressed out to begin with because I stupidly managed to take 2 wrong trains. I keep telling myself I need to have a little bit more of this.
Self-compassion. Be friendly to yourself. Accidents happen, and nobody is perfect. What would you tell your best friend to do? Why don't you take your own advice? If you're sad or you've made a mistake, then admit it. But don't let your inner critic win. Rather, look upon your negative thoughts from a different perspective. Because that's all they are. Just thoughts.
We rounded off the night very nicely with pizza. All's well that ends well. Actually helped me a bit to think of a particular page from the Mindfulness journal.
Urge surfing. Feel the urge start to rise. Notice how it feels in the body and stay with the sensation. Ride out the urge without giving into it. Topsy-turvy world. Today, perform all the activities you normally do automatically with your strong hand with the other hand. Cleaning your teeth, locking the door, stirring food on the stove. That way you won't be able to help being mindful.
Ooh, I can already tell I'm gonna hate this. I'm clumsy enough at the best of times. Let's go for a natural look today, shall we? Not even first cousins, really. We've got Parisian Belle and we've got Cleopatra. 9 times out of 10 when I'm late to something, it's because of an eyeliner emergency. Got an IKEA jaunt and lunch planned with a good friend and colleague of mine. Sorry I'm late, I couldn't close my door. Why, hello! Wishing you the goodliest of evenings. Ignore the hissing, it's my radiator, because it's freaking cold today. Now, I've had a lovely day out, feeling like the cat's pajamas. Now I've done the actual important stuff, like chores and all that. It's time to do tonight's diary exercise, which is draw some clouds and write your thoughts in them. I think I can do that. Cloud, 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 cloud. I really ate too much. Will my laundry actually be done? The dryer always seems to take longer than advertised. It's like, oh, 2 minutes, so you wait, and then it's like, psych, 22 minutes. In this bottom corner we have busy day tomorrow. Again, it doesn't really say what to do with these thoughts. If you're having really uncomfortable thoughts, stormy grey clouds just hovering malevolently, what do you do then? This just confirms my theory that mindfulness exercises are not for anyone who's at any extreme of emotion. This is just for if you're already pretty calm. Let me show you some wisdom that I found on YouTube.
And everyone else, I think, is just at one with the moment, at one with joy, at one with the universe, and I'm there as I'm running, thinking, well, this will probably make a good memory.
100% me.
If there's nothing you can do about something, then you do nothing. And in that moment, the feeling of injustice, the frustration, it was lifted, it was gone, there was nothing to do. I realised I'd made it up. I'd made it up that it was an injustice. I'd made up the frustration. It was all a story. And it's the same with the past. You can't change the past. There's no need to heal it. It's only a story that you've created. All you can do is let go of the story. You can't change yourself. All you can do is let go of the story of who you are. Let go of the character that you've created from fear. You can't change other people. All you can do is let go of your limited perspective of them.
That is better than the majority of self-help books that I have read. final day of the challenge. First, I went to my creative writing group in the morning, as I always do. I was working on a short story today. All of us writers went for lunch, which was lovely. I went to a Pulse of Europe event. Now, Pulse of Europe is a pro-European organisation which holds talks and rallies and other events in order to promote European values. What with us being alarmingly close to Brexit, I think it's more important than ever that we get a different perspective on everything, just because it's such a mess, isn't it, really?
From me to me. Write a letter to yourself. How are you? What thoughts are going through your head? What would you prefer to forget? What are you looking forward to? What nice experiences have you had lately? Who or what is making you happy at the moment? Put the letter in a box in which you keep your memories. The next time you encounter the letter, read back your own lines. Has anything changed?
I actually found the letter to myself exercise weirdly revelatory. Got quite deep with it. I don't know whether it's just because I was feeling tired, and when I'm tired I'm more emotional. I'll read it here. Dear Lem, at the moment you're pretty damn tired, but you're soldiering on. You're at writing group, and you're still mourning your magnum opus. You're telling yourself that it's okay. None of the time spent writing that novel was wasted. For most people, the first book they write is not the first book they publish. You'd like to forget exactly how much time you spent on it, though. If you're feeling old, and you hate these young whippersnappers who've been published 20 times by the age of 16, you're looking forward to concerts and a very special holiday coming up in May. Your whole week has been pleasant and free of responsibilities, full of great company, good food and relaxation. These are all things that make you happy. You've realised that a lot of your usual exhaustion is probably mental, the constant strain of just being a functioning adult, and, most of all, fulfilling others' expectations of you. Sometimes you don't, and you hate yourself for that, but you keep on trying. I don't want to sign off with love because I don't really think you're worthy of love. I don't want to be nice to you because you're me, and we're both very flawed and imperfect. So I'll just type it quickly, then close the document. Love, Lem. I wasn't really thinking when I typed that, those were the words I truly wanted to say to myself. I am nice to everyone else, honestly, but I really struggle to like myself, especially when I make silly mistakes or I come across as awkward or ugly or I do something embarrassing. I guess that is one thing that mindfulness has revealed to me today.
More time to be happy. When something really makes you happy, you should do it more often. Write a little list, and in future, spend time doing more of these things that fill you with energy.
I struggled with this card because I really thought it was unrealistic to say I should be doing more of these things. Sure, we'd all like to do more of these things. Who wouldn't want like 12 extra holidays a year? But it's pretty childish and unrealistic to expect to be able to do more of these things. Everything boils down to having time and money. I know I sound very cynical here, but it's true. With adulthood comes additional responsibility, which is like a far more boring version of that Spider-Man quote. But I wouldn't say that responsibility is necessarily a bad thing. If you lived your whole life doing only the things you actually wanted to do, you wouldn't have anything left to look forward to. What's the point of holiday if your whole life is a holiday? Everything would become quite samey. You need contrast in all things, I would say. Listen to me, like a week of mindfulness and I'm already spouting these sort of Buddha-style quotes. There's one more thing left on my mindfulness agenda, and that is 25-minute guided meditation. I've literally never successfully meditated. This guided meditation is by Tara Brach.
Find a posture that allows you to be comfortably at rest.
Oh God, I hate her voice already.
To help you stay alert, but also relaxed. Let your eyes close.
I feel like she hates me. I can hear the fridge, it's really bugging me.
And as your breath now resumes its natural rhythm, allow your jaw to be unhinged. Sense a small but real smile at the lips. A smile inside the mouth.
She knows.
See if you can feel the hands from the inside out. Notice the sensations there, the tingling, pulsing, maybe warmth.
Okay, mandatory pause for 1 minute. When I went to that super creepy yoga session in the city centre, that's exactly what they said. Did you feel any tingling or warmth in your hands? I swear, they would not let me leave until I said, yes, yes, sure. They like barricaded the door. It's all the same.
Allow your belly to be loose and relaxed.
Oh, I should have worn looser jeans for that. I ate so much at lunch.
And now this one.
How many bellies do I have?
And again.
That exercise concludes our week of mindfulness. I admit I was not able to sit through that entire meditation. I do feel that meditation is something that works well for you if you already know that you like that kind of thing. You find it relaxing, sort of time out for yourself. Me, personally, it just doesn't work. But that's not to say that my mind wasn't still or calm. I did find it physically very relaxing. There was a moment where I thought, oh, I could easily doze off here, it's quite pleasant. But it makes me feel less in myself, dreamy, rather than here I am, sitting on a towel, breathing. Something else I was wondering as I was doing the exercise is how panic attack sufferers would feel with this kind of meditation. Would it frighten them more to be hyper aware of all the sensations in their body? When I suffered from panic a while back, I hated being hyper aware of my breath or the tension in my chest. Knowing what I was feeling made me feel even worse. It was kind of a vicious circle. Being in the moment isn't necessarily a comfortable or pleasant thing. When I was in the library, I was hyper aware of the squeakiness of my shoes while everyone else was trying to work in utter silence, so that was more a self-conscious awareness. I was also thinking that maybe a lot of the things we do now are done for self-defense. I live in a big city where there can be strange people around. I don't feel safe just being present. I need headphones in, or I need a book in my hands on public transport just to show that I am occupied with something, and that way I am less likely to make eye contact with someone, and I'm less likely to attract their attention. It can often be hostile. Having said that, it is a bit freaky sometimes to walk to a public place and just see hundreds of people glued to their screens. Not to say that they're doing anything negative or time wasting. They live in an ever more complicated, diverse and multicultural society, therefore they could be in a different country and might be messaging their parents, as I often am. Organising a social activity. I keep a lot of PDF files on my phone, books that I like to read. There's definitely been a change. I do remember a time when nobody was doing anything, tapping or reading or listening to music. Everyone just kind of was. Are we busier now? To some extent I would say we are. I think we have a tendency now to bring our work home with us, which is not necessarily positive, of course. There's also new forms of leisure which set us more sort of tasks, if you can call them that. If I post a video, I may then be checking my social media to see whether anyone has commented on it, or if anyone has subscribed to my channel. Please subscribe to my channel. We expect everything to be so instantaneous nowadays, and we don't have as much time, so we try and cram more and more into that free time. Some of the diary tasks are quite simplistic. I felt like some of these exercises could be triggering, and then you wouldn't necessarily know what to do about how you felt, such as listing all of your issues, things that annoy you, things that you're worried about. This kind of book would be good for someone who struggles to keep their thoughts in check, switching off the cacophony in their skulls, for carefully disentangling all their thoughts and putting them in neat little clouds or bubbles. So for visual learners, I reckon this would be a great tool, but I do think it should be used in conjunction with therapy or even medication if need be. I'm not anti-meds when it comes to mental health. If you want to do something for the gram, then sure, you can use them. As for the instruction cards, some of these things I thought were not necessarily bad ideas. For example, using your non-dominant hand for activities makes you more switched on and alert because you have to use more concentration. Some of the others I did find a bit selbstverständlich, like, yeah, self-evident. Like, ooh, you always get the same flavour of ice cream. Why don't you try a new flavour of ice cream? I do feel like a lot of these things you could come up with yourself. As a gag gift, they're great because I got a video out of them. Now that is the golden question. I was possibly a bit less in the moment than I could have been, simply because I knew I was on camera. Thinking what shots I should take made me notice things about my day more, because I thought, what would make an interesting viewpoint? So I was actually more present, I guess. There were some things that I felt a bit embarrassed doing in public. I felt a bit like Andrew from Chronicle.
I bought a camera and I'm filming everything from here on out.
Mindfulness as a concept I think can work for some people. Give it a go if you do think that it could help you to clear your mind and to live more positively. As for me, I'm happy with my own forms of meditation and mindfulness, going for walks, going out with friends, enjoying life. I will acknowledge that I did enjoy taking just that little bit more time to really savour things. In terms of depersonalisation, nothing has really changed, but I was not expecting it to. Was that a kind of self-fulfilling prophecy? No, I don't think it was. I do believe my depersonalisation has a chemical origin as yet undiscovered. Have you tried out mindfulness techniques for yourself, or do you meditate? Please like and subscribe, and we shall see each other very, very soon. Hwyl fawr. Come here, cat. Come here, kitty cat. And I dance, 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 and I dance, dance, dance.